All right, what is up? We are live. We're gonna jump right into the let's see, results here. Where did I put the results? They're somewhere over here. All right, Kyle Larson wins the race. P1. He dominated at least we'll go the third stage, final stage. Uh ran good all day, but definitely third stage dominated. Gained 5 bonus points and 10 bonus points in round two for 15 overall. He was locked in before the third stage even started, and he led 62 laps in the event altogether. So pretty dominating performance. Once he got out front, he was gone, and that was due to various other things other than his car being really good. His team had the best strategy, and he didn't make any mistakes himself. Speaking of people who didn't make any mistakes, the number 20 of Christopher Bell, another solid performance and good run for him, just doing what he needs to do to continue on in the playoffs, going to continue to be a threat, just like the man who finished right below him in third place, William Byron. Another great finish for the Valvoline Confetti Chevrolet, finishing in third place. Austin Cindric doing all he could do. Unfortunately, that wreck in Talladega sort of sealed the deal for him, unfortunately, where he finishes in fourth place. Did pretty much all you could do. Got 1 point in stage one, and then however many points he finished seventh in stage two. So however many points he got for that, but did all he could do today. Just the wreck in Talladega cost him basically his opportunity to advance in the playoffs, and we'll talk about that in just a minute as well. Chase Elliott finishing in fifth. He does advance in the playoffs. AJ Allmendinger is going to finish in sixth place here, and his teammate, at least for this season, finishing in seventh place. Shane Van Gisbergen. They didn't have the optimal strategy. They had cars, I feel like, that possibly could have competed with the top five cars there, but they did not have the optimal strategy there at the end. I think they needed a caution or something like that, just to really get up there and get involved. Shane Van Gisbergen also was. Somebody made contact with him. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. Maybe Hocevar. Was it Hocevar that spun him? So after that, he had to make up some ground as well. So just didn't go the way he wanted it to go today. But both of them had strong cars. Joey Logano finishing in eighth place, will not advance either. But once again, another Penske car doing all they could do. Just didn't bounce their way today. Bubba Wallace, like I told you in the pre-race, he's not great at road courses, but for whatever reason, he is really good at the Charlotte Roval. Gets a ninth place finish. Ryan Blaney with the 10th place finish here. Tyler Reddick. So all three Penske cars finish in the top 10, but only one is going to advance. Tyler Reddick saved the drive of his career to save his playoff run, finishing in 11th, and does advance. Carson Hocevar with the 12th place finish. Kyle Busch in 13th, passes Denny Hamlin apparently on the last lap, who finishes in 14th. Michael McDowell 15th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 16th, Chris Buescher 17th, Alex Bowman 18th. Todd Gilliland finishing in 19th. Zane Smith, Harrison Burton, Martin Truex Jr., Josh Berry, Brad Keselowski, and Daniel Hemrick round out your top 25. Ryan Preece, Justin Haley, Kaz Grala, Ross Chastain, Josh Bilicki are going to be the 30 up to the 30th position, and the rest of your finishing order all the way down to 38th is going to be Daniel Suarez in 31, Noah Gragson, Austin Dillon, Eric Jones, John Hunter Nemechek, Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe, who had that tire issue, and one Corey LaJoy, who blew an engine fairly early in the race. Ty Gibbs also blowing an engine in this one as well. Time of the race was 3 hours and 3 seconds. A tidy Roval, no doubt about it. Average speed 82.817 miles per hour, and the margin of victory was a second and a half for Young Money Kyle Larson. Now, speaking of those playoffs, it is now down to 8 after those drivers were eliminated, and your current 8 are going to be Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and Ryan Blaney. Of course, Joey Logano, Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, and who am I forgetting here? But anyway, they were eliminated. At the cut line right now, though, is going to be Blaney at -4, Denny Hamlin at -8, -9 for Chase Elliott, -16 for Alex Bowman, and that is the poll question. Of these who are currently below the cut line, which one has the best chance of advancing? William Byron, closest on the cut line, that is still above it. He is at +4. Tyler Reddick is going to be +10, your regular season champion. Christopher Bell is at +13, and Kyle Larson is at 33. Daniel Suarez, that's the other one I forgot there. So Suarez is eliminated too. He had brake failure, and that sort of ruined his day, although he was giving it all he could give. Racing Joey Logano and various others on this day before the brakes gave up on him. So, yeah, Kyle Larson plus 33. He's got a comfortable lead. So you got to feel good about him getting into the Final Four unless he has trouble, but he does basically have a race's worth of points to play with. So as long as nothing happens to him, he should basically be in R&D mode for Phoenix. Christopher Bell at plus 13, plus 10 for Tyler Reddick, and William Byron plus 4. None of those guys can possibly feel comfortable. And it was Kyle Larson's 6th win of the season. But yeah, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott going to have some work to do. And Alex Bowman has a lot of work to do sitting here at minus 16. All right, let's jump into the chat. See what you guys want to talk about. What's up, Blaines? Good to see you on here. I see the e-poll voter is a Blaney fan. So Charlotte, thinking the Blaney fans there in the poll. Wonder who that could be. So apparently it was Charlotte who was the initial Ryan Blaney vote. Boo Denny Hamlin, boo, says Charlotte. So she is not a huge fan of the 11 car. Looks like I chose the wrong Kyle. What happened to Martin Truex Jr.? He was in the top 10 at the end, then fell to 22nd. I'm not 100% sure what happened to Martin Truex Jr. I don't know if he stayed out there on old tires or what, and they didn't benefit him. The only real highlight from this race that I saw of Martin Truex Jr. was when he hit Ross Chastain and spun him. I didn't really hear much from him the rest of the day. And that wasn't even like, he wasn't spinning him on purpose. It was just a racing incident. But that's really the only time that I saw anything about Martin Truex Jr. Said on TV. Don't call it a comeback for Tyler Reddick because he's been here for years. Tyler Reddick and Daniel Suarez both went airborne. Yeah, pretty crazy wreck there between Reddick and Denny Hamlin. They made side contact, and I guess the wheels got maybe hooked up with each other, and you saw Reddick's car just go up like that. He said he felt like he was going to do a front flip, like the front of the car was just going to flip all the way over. So he said he got a good bit of air there, at least inside the car. BB, can you do your Motor City Dan Campbell impression? Well, I don't want anybody to read our message here, so this is going to be my best Motor City Dan Campbell impression that I can give for you there today there, Lane. So let's see, less than 24. Yeah, I'm not going to read political stuff. Sure, it's a good joke. I'm just not getting into politics here. Sorry about that, Jamie Schweitzer. BB, get ready for Thanksgiving because Heart Like a Truck will be playing at the halftime of the Dallas Cowboys game. So yeah, I guess I know it's really going to be hard, but I just won't watch the Cowboys game. Darn, heck, shoot. How about them Cowboys, says OJ and Toothpaste. So OJ and Toothpaste trolling the Cowboys here a little bit. Larson Victory, says OJ and Toothpaste. Or Lawson Victory, says OJ and Toothpaste, doing the old Lee Diffie impersonation. I couldn't think of his name for a second. Bell and Larson advance. Team FT, what's up, my friend? Hope you're doing good. Finally, a race with no controversy. Yay, LOL. Give it time, Joseph Wooten. They'll find something. They will find something for it to be a controversy, I promise. Larson for president, says A1. They were right there with Bubba out on missing the chicane. 2 cars behind him. I guess who it was. Did the same thing. All blue between them, and the left side of the car was Willie B. Says Stephen D'Amelio Jr. Austin Dillon was in third, but lost a tire. Yeah, that was a tough deal. He wasn't in third because he had pitted, so he was in a pit cycle, but he was running third before that. Then they lost the tire, and that strategy was over after that, and that set up a caution that sort of jumbled things up once again. And that's actually what helped Tyler Reddick make his run there at the end. So Austin Dillon, I guess, with the assist on that one, at least partially. I think that was the caution. I might be wrong about that. 99 car was not very good in the playoffs this year, says OJ and Toothpaste. He wasn't good this round, but the first round, he was pretty good in the first round. Is the tech over, says One Wise Guy? I would assume so, because I'm pulling the results from the NASCAR.com website, and it doesn't say unofficial. It just says results. So looks like it's official. The points that I'm looking at least are official. So I guess tech is over. Is SVG eligible for Rookie of the Year this year? I don't think so, but I think he will be next year. Which Kyle Busch was in the 23 car, because you got to declare for it. I don't think he declared for it, so it'll be next year before he can get Rookie of the Year. Which Kyle Busch was in the 23 car, says Thomas Haywood. So I don't know. I feel like Bubba's got a strong amount of sponsorship, so I think he's going to be safe in that car. I don't feel like they're going to move away from Tyler Reddick because he just won the regular season championship. So if you want and I don't think he wants to go to Legacy. So if you want Kyle Busch in a Toyota or back in a Toyota, I guess it's going to have to be the Joe Gibbs camp. Maybe something. If you want him back in a Toyota, that would probably be the best bets. But I don't know. I feel like they're getting younger over there, and obviously they got rid of him to begin with. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe 2311 expands to a third car. Maybe that's the best opportunity for Kyle Busch to go over back to a Toyota if you want him back in a Toyota. I don't know. Thank God they changed those two turns. I enjoyed the Xfinity race despite the finish, but thought today's race was helpful by it being a cutoff race because the race itself was just okay. Uh, I feel like the only thing that people are going to talk about with the Xfinity race, and I didn't get a chance to see it because I was at Orange County myself for short track stuff. The only thing I've seen people talking about is the Parker Kligerman deal. So I don't think anybody's going to remember anything other than the late caution there that, depending on your point of view, cost Parker Kligerman the win, or however you want to look at it. So I feel like that's just going to be the biggest thing from the Xfinity race that people remember and take away from it. I don't think they're necessarily going to remember. I don't think they'll remember anything about how it raced or anything like that. So it's hard to say. I will say this about the Cup race: they were really getting after it in the Cup race. Like they were putting wheels to each other. They were leaning on each other. It was a very aggressive short track race, and I think if they can continue to move each other around like that, I think that fans will warm up to this type of track as long as you see that level of aggression. So maybe having it as a cutoff race actually did help it significantly because I mean they were really going after it. You saw all kinds of people battling on the track, not afraid to make contact. Thank God they changed. I'll just read that one. How many cars did Hocevar wreck today, or how many wrecks did Hocevar cause today? He says they're deaf. I don't know. It seemed like he was in at least two that I can think of off the top of my head. Once again, just being overly aggressive driver, but I feel like everybody was in full aggression mode. I guess in order to drive for JRM, your name must be Connor, says in between the lanes. Talking about Connor Hall, of course, going to JRM. Clear of the Panthers curse, says one wise guy. So yeah, the Panthers did lose today. It was a joke going in the Discord. I was like, the one time I bet against the Panthers, they win. So that's what one wise guy is joking about there. Connor Hall to the Junior Motorsports car in the Cars Tour. Good move, says Thomas Haywood. He's a pretty good driver, so I mean, I can't find any fault with the move. I feel like it's a good, solid move for them. So I think that'll probably be a good move for them. While Joey fairly didn't earn a spot in the top 8, perhaps they shouldn't have drivers that aren't running the entire season run during the playoffs. There is something to be said about that, but I don't know, man. Like, it just depends on who the driver is. Like, I don't know. It's just a weird thing. Like, I didn't see a lot of people complaining about SVG racing here, but then if Joey goes down a series, I don't know. I like the really good race car drivers. I like them racing in the Xfinity series. I don't have a problem with it, but if it affects the playoffs, then of course, obviously it becomes a problem. But anything can affect the playoffs. Like any driver could do it. As long as it's not intentional, I don't have a problem with it. So as long as it's not like a Kyle Busch, Ron Hornaday situation, I don't really have a problem with it. Where you're taking out a playoff or the leader in the points or something like that, just because you got ill at an on track move or something like that. Nice job by Balicki this weekend. Led some laps yesterday and kept the car clean and made it all the way to the end. 8th for JGR and 30th for MBM. Yep, doing exactly what he needed to do in both of those. So hopefully that continues his momentum and can get him some opportunities going forward. Never seen Kaz Grala mad at Eric, that Jones boy, when they made contact. Yeah, I feel like Eric Jones was just as mad as well because Eric Jones paid it back in full. That was, like I said, it was a very intense race, no doubt about it, for sure. Let's see. Oh, the other thing, Corey LaJoy now down 2-1 as Justin Haley does get the better finish today, although not really a fair interpretation of it because Corey LaJoy lost his engine. Kaz Grala, underrated driver. Yeah, Kaz Grala is definitely a talent. I think he's a very talented driver. Doesn't get talked about a lot, unfortunately, but hopefully he can get a good opportunity going forward and isn't forced to retire before he has like just an excellent opportunity to show what he can do. I'm still so mad at how Colleague mismanaged the race yesterday for SVG. They didn't do it necessarily a great job today. I feel like they had the at least the second and third fastest cars, if not the fastest cars. I feel like they could have hung with the 5 car if they had the right pit strategy. I'm still mad at how Colleague mismanaged the race yesterday for SVG. I forgot about the controversy with Parker. Maybe it's like they forgot it was a cutoff race. Yeah, and I feel like today it wasn't. I like Colleague, and I hate saying this, but I feel like they missed the strategy on it again today. I don't know, just do what the 5 car is doing. Like, the 5 car was your really only 5 and the 20, I guess I should say, were your only real competition on the day speed wise, and just I don't know, just do what they do. Like, I don't know. It is what it is. I was sort of surprised that they finished where they finished, but they went for it. They were going for a win, so I'm not gonna like rain on the parade of that. They were trying to get a win. I wasn't in love with the strategy, but they've got more wins than I do in the Cup Series. So who am I to say? No Cup drivers in Xfinity during the playoffs, but SVG was in a Cup race. Says in between the lanes. Number 5 is alive, says James Byrne. Exactly, in between the lanes, says Jamie Schweitzer. Tyler Rock and Randall Gibbs had transmission issues. Okay, so it was a transmission. They got it. Let's see. Jayski has it recorded as an engine failure, so maybe they need to update that on the official scorecard. They're saying engine failure, but maybe it was a transmission, in fact, or a gearbox, I guess. What was that was good old butt whooping, says Dennis Gillespie. Yeah, Larson put it on him. Like all the talk, because Larson had such a big gap once he got up front here, even on the restart. He pretty quickly got a gap on the restart. Yeah, once he got out front, it was kind of academic. All the battles were talking about playoff points and stuff like that throughout the field. That was the only real conversation that was kind of had on the day. Tim Ray saying I miss NASCAR overtime. So he was pulling for a NASCAR overtime or trolling, doing a little facetiousness there. Had to listen, not watch. Had to work on the truck. Wish I could have watched with Larson winning, says James Burns. You didn't miss too much. He just once he got out front, he was pretty much gone. Like I said, led 60 some laps of 109, so it was pretty dominant about halfway through the race. So it wasn't much to be seen after that. Larson has now gotten used to this car and doesn't have a bad track with it, says Escobar. Yeah, he's adapted to it well. He even said he spent some time on the simulator, which he said is rare for him. So you could see that he really took this race very seriously. So he's getting dialed in on the next gen car, getting dialed in for the rest of the playoff stretch here as well. Vegas, Homestead, and Martinsville are good tracks for Larson. Yeah, Martinsville, he's won at Martinsville. I wouldn't say it's a good track for him, but he has a win there. So he's definitely upped his game at Martinsville. I was so surprised. I was actually at that one when he won it, and I was like, man, this is not a great track for Larson. So I'm just hoping he runs well. Then he got the win. Then he did the burnout all the way across the track, and I was like, man, he's done upped his game here. So I was pretty stoked about that. Vegas and Homestead, for sure, tracks he's well known at doing good at. Today was the last call at Charlotte for Doug Rice. Yeah, unfortunate. Doug Rice, a Hall of Famer, man. He's awesome. He's really good at what he does. I hate to see him go, but I want to see him enjoy his retirement as well. But yeah, one of the absolute all timers. Good call, FT Hub. All the Hendrick Final Four is still alive, says Joseph Wooten. Yep, all 4 Hendrick drivers, and I think there's 4 teams in there, right? You got Joe Gibbs Racing, you got Penske, you got Hendrick, and you got 2311. So 4 teams, 8 drivers in the Final Four. I'm rooting for YRB to be the returning champ. Bell may quietly win the whole enchilada. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Christopher Bell is going to be the spoiler here. Either him or William Byron. I could see him or William Byron being the spoiler here. I think right now Larson has to be the favorite, having 6 wins on the season. But yeah, definitely I could see them shaking it up. And then you can never sleep on Ryan Blaney. He is the reigning, defending champion. Larson's great, but let's give Hendrick their props as well. Kyle Larson won 6 races in 7 years at Chip Ganassi Racing. Now he's won 23 in a little less than 4 years at HMS, as their diff. Yeah, indeed. It often gets overlooked because you just expect them to be good, but being that good for that long is a really hard thing to do. I'll say the same thing about Penske, and I'll say the same thing about Joe Gibbs Racing. Being at that high level for that amount of time is very, very impressive. Let's see. Early Vegas prediction: a Toyota wins the race, says in between the lanes. Toyotas are pretty good there. There's no doubt about that. So not a bad pick at all. I think he has a win at Phoenix, but hasn't been good lately in the fall, says James Burns. Larson for sure, and I'll say the same thing about Christopher Bell. Larson had a 8:40 flight. He might miss his in between lanes. Indeed, trying to catch up with the family, trying to go to Cabo this weekend or this week, I guess, before the race. I shouldn't say weekend. I want to say Bowman for the pole, but only with 6 playoff points, making up 23:30. It's a huge ask in 3 normal races. Someone said Bowman's car was underweight and is being penalized. I don't know how true it is, says James Byrne. We'll see. Like I said, I got that exactly from NASCAR's website. So if something happens, I'll try to keep you updated. But as of right now, if NASCAR posted, I assume it's official. But we'll see. We will see. Still mad at Parker Kligerman that Parker Kligerman got screwed. Yeah, that was a bad deal for sure, OJ. Yep, Hendrick, one of the best teams. Anybody but Hamlin, thanks, says Thomas Haywood. Alex Bowman will come out of nowhere to be the 2024 champion. He would definitely be the darkest of the dark horses, but he's had probably one of the best playoffs since the playoffs have started. So I wouldn't be completely surprised if Alex Bowman won it. At the end of the day, and maybe here's the deal with Alex Bowman. I feel like Alex Bowman could win the championship this year, and people would still be like, "He's on the hot seat, man. He's going to be replaced by somebody." Like I don't know what Alex Bowman can do. Like I feel like Alex Bowman could win this championship, and next year be like, "Yeah, he got that championship, but he's gone after this year, man. He was lucky." Like I just 100% could see people saying that. At the end of the day, whoever runs best at Phoenix, says Escobar. Yeah, but you got to get to Phoenix first, so you got to get there. But yeah, that's true, and that's unfortunate that it comes down to one race. But it is what it is. NASCAR's going to do what they want to do. They ain't worried about what I'm thinking about. If you were to choose a favorite driver of each manufacturer, who would you choose? Let's see. Obviously, the 2 Kyles would have to be my Chevrolet picks. So flip a coin on that one. Toyota, I would go Eric Jones. I like Eric Jones there. Strong 43 ties. So that's obviously a no-brainer. And the 21, I like the 21. They've just been around a long time. The Wood brothers are awesome. Kyle Petty got started with them. So we'll go with Josh Berry. Well, Harrison Burton for the rest of this season. And then next year we'll go with Josh Berry in the Ford camp. Also, I would put Noah and Todd Gilliland in there too. So probably a tie between those 3 as my favorite Ford driver as it stands now. So 3 manufacturers. Like if I had to pick a favorite driver, those would be the ones. Let's see. Nobody would be surprised if Bell wins it all. He almost did last year. Yeah, indeed. I feel like it's a matter of time before him and Byron eventually get one. Mets Dodgers tonight at 8:00 after the Lions Cowboys game on Fox. Yep, that's going to be a good one. MLB playoffs have been good this year for sure as well. More non-playoff drivers left. Chances are we will see a spoiler win next week, says Jamie Schweitzer. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's been the year of the spoiler, no doubt about it. How about the Ducks taking down Ohio State? Says OJ and Toothpaste. So yeah, that was interesting as well. This might be the Ducks' year, finally. The 5 teams' Achilles heel is Phoenix. Pit Crew saved him in 2021 to help him get ahead of Truex to win the title. That, and he got some very fortunate luck with the way that the back end of the car was damaged. It formed a little bit of a wing right there. Denny Hamlin actually talked about it. It actually helped give him some downforce. So he had a lot of fortune. Crazy as it sounds, for a 10, he won 10 races that year, but had to have a little bit of fortune there at Phoenix. And all of these championships that these guys win, you can look at some race somewhere where they had a little bit of fortune bounce their way, and that helped them out. Too bad Minnie ran out of gas in the Cars Tour. Really want him to win. Good kid, says Thomas Haywood. Yeah, old Minnie. He's won a Cars Tour race before though. I want to say. Does he still go by Minnie, or is he going by Timmy Tyrell now? I can't remember. But anyway, Minnie Tyrell, he won. Did he win at Dominion? I know Silvestri won at Dominion one year. I think Minnie Tyrell has a Cars Tour win, but I don't know. He's had a rough season this year. It was bad to see how many people ran out of gas though in that Cars Tour race. That's unfortunate. Maybe next time they'll just throw like a red flag and let them put gas in them because the race was running extra long or whatever. But yeah, that's a bummer. That was definitely a bad deal for him. Ford's early season slump is showing up in the current point standings, says Tim Brace. Yeah. Yes, Chevrolet is going to extend it, and Toyota is going to make up at least a point because they finished second on Ford. But yeah, Chevrolet extends it. That's not what you wanted as for the manufacturers championship. That's not what you wanted as a Ford or Toyota fan, was a Chevrolet win today. if you're trying to catch back up. Good evening, B. What's up, Thunder Strikes? Good to see you on here, my friend. Is there more drivers that have never won a championship left in contention than former champs? I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to look at it. Let's take a look at it real quick here. Alex Bowman never won a championship. Chase Elliott has won a championship. Denny Hamlin never won a championship. Ryan Blaney has won a championship. So we're even here. William Byron hasn't. Tyler Reddick hasn't. Christopher Bell hasn't. Larson has. So, yeah, there are more drivers left that have not won a championship than drivers that have won a championship. So, yeah, good call there. That is accurate. What's up? Let's see. BB, what is your favorite NASCAR series outside of the top three? NASCAR series outside the top three probably would be like weekly late models. Like that would have to be my go-to as far as NASCAR sanctioned series. Kyle Petty, let me say this, says in between the lanes. They were saying that Australian girl Hendricks introduced in the pre-show is Bowman's replacement, says one wise guy. Always giving Bowman crap, man. I don't get it, man. I don't understand why he's always on the bubble. All he does is win races. Yeah, he's a little bit inconsistent from time to time, but he's I don't know. I think he's a pretty good driver. Give me Martin Truex Jr. at Vegas. So in between the lanes, making his early call of Martin Truex Jr. One of Martin Truex Jr.'s home tracks as well. Little known fact. Is it just me or did Josh Berry get the worst ride from all of the SHR drivers for next year? That is if Pierce does end up going to RFK. Priest ends up going to RFK. I understand where you're coming from, but I actually think Josh Berry's got one of the better rides. I think you're going to see the 21 really, really show what it can do. I think Harrison Burton is a talent. I think Harrison Burton just came up too early. So I think that was the major issue over there. But Matt DiBenedetto had that car in the playoffs. Ryan Blaney won some races in that car. I think that car's got a lot of speed in it. I think the relationship with Penske is going to pay dividends, especially when you got a guy that is essentially a crew chief sitting in that seat with Josh Berry. I think you're going to see some good things from the 21 next year. So I understand where you're coming from because of the performance the last 5 or 6 years with it, but I think you're going to see it turn around with Josh Berry. Could be wrong, but I think you're going to see it turn around. Who you got in your final four? I think I would go Larson, Bell, Byron, and Hamlin. Hamlin hasn't won a race since April, but keeps surviving, and now they are at his best tracks. I like Larson, Bell, and Byron. Let me take a look here and see who my final one would be. It's tough, man. Man, it's tough. I don't want to bet against Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney's had a sneaky, quiet, good season. So I would probably go either Ryan Blaney. And even though he's minus 16 right now, Alex Bowman has had the best playoffs so far. So I'm going to go Alex Bowman or Ryan Blaney, flip a coin there. But yeah, the other three you had, I'll go with the first three you had as well of William Byron, Christopher Bell, and Kyle Larson. But yeah, I'm going to go Blaney or Bowman. Just flip a coin on which one because I feel like they've had the best. I feel like they've had the best playoff. Or Bowman's had one of the best playoffs, and nobody's talking about it. Bowman, the showman. Talking about it says Fit Hub, FT Int Fit Hub. Let's see. Kyle Petty also. You know what I mean? Says Dirty Duff. Kyle Petty needs to be in the booth next year. Says OJ and Toothpaste. Yeah, I would appreciate Kyle Petty being in the booth. I think that would be fun. It's either Kyle Busch or Martin Truex Jr. is my race winner prediction until the end of the year. I'm kind of in the same boat. That's what I did today. I only got a 14th out of it, but I'm gonna keep rocking with it. The 21 is a winning capable car. Barry has a shot to win next year. I think so too. I was glad to see Burton get the 100th win though. Me too, just because he caught so much crap. And he's not a bad kid. He's a good kid. He just came up a little too early, and you can understand what he was thinking. He was like, nobody has a lot of experience with this car. I might as well jump in it now. Didn't work out for him, but he had a good thought process there. So I like the move. Just came up a little too early. Needs to go back down to Xfinity and work on his racecraft a little bit and try to get back up there a la, Cole Custer. Pull a Cole Custer and try to get back up in it. It's all about Daniel Hemrick, whoever you want to name that's gone down and come back up. Eric Almirola was the guy that did that. I think Truex did as well. It's all about the driver, not someone who has a famous name used to race, says Dennis Gillespie. Dirty Deaf, Kyle Petty. I'm going to say this. You know what I'm saying? Josh should have held out to somehow stay with Rodney Childers. Yeah, I don't know exactly how that situation went down. Penske likes to promote from within, and Rodney Childers is not a Penske man, and I feel like Penske stuck to their guns. They came out. I don't feel like it. They basically came out and said it. So Penske nixed that deal, so it wasn't going to happen. It ended up being good for both of them. I think it's okay, but yeah, of course, you would love to see Rodney Childers stay with Josh Berry. Earth 2, Tony Stewart. What did it say here? Earth 2, Tony Stewart waves the green flag at Phoenix. Still crazy to think that 1999, only Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch, and Joey Logano have more than one championship, says Cody Ledger. Yep, that's the way, that's kind of the way the sport goes. Hey, BB, I just air fried 3 sausages to gobble whole. No chewing. My intestines can take it, but my chocolate starfish can't. It feels like I am dropping deli bologna out of it. Please help. Just take some sleepy time tea and try to sleep it off, my friend. Good luck with the journey there. Dirty Death Spire has just about become the second team, and they aren't even an official key partner with Chevy. It's clear how much help they are getting from HMS. Yeah, for sure. They've definitely gotten a significant amount of weight. How is the car underweight if it was checked before the race? Oh, there's all kinds of stuff you can do, James Burns. All kinds of stuff. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to give any of it away. Imagine an HMS only championship race. Who would you think would win? Says Jamie Schweitzer. I mean, my money's on Kyle Larson, but each person's going to have their own favorite in that scenario. Cody Ware is an example of a driver. I think if you got an all Hendrick Final Four, that could be a situation where you get enough outcry from fans to end the playoff system. Just that would be, people would melt down if there was an all Hendrick Final Four. Cody Ware is an example of a driver who has really improved recently. Yeah, I think basically almost losing his career has made him put a bigger emphasis on preparing for it, and he realized there's moments like that, and I'm not making him to be a victim or anything like that, but I'm just the situation. He almost lost his opportunity to drive forever, and I think that crystallized in his mind how much of a luxury it is that he has a chance to drive a race car, and you've seen him respond in such a manner. So yeah, he has improved quite a bit. I will say that. Spire should rename the team Hendrick Motorsports Junior. Chocolate Starfish, says Dirty Duff. Burton going to AM Racing next year. Won't do him any favors though, says Escobar. Yeah, I'm not sold on AM myself either. SVG should be sponsored by Fiji Water. SVG in the Fiji Chevrolet, says dislike Larson passes Carl Edwards and wins is crazy to me, says A1. Hey, that's the way it goes. Any rumors out there about where Hemrick is going next year? I haven't heard anything about Daniel Hemrick just yet, unfortunately. I hope we get all 4 Hendrick Final Four, so NASCAR will realize how this format sucks, says OJ and Toothpaste. Well, it would definitely, if you want to talk about outrage, that would be a lot of outrage right there. All due respect, but I doubt watching all HMS Final Four, I would put all JGR in that category as well. Oh yeah, I 100% agree. I think all 4 of any team, people would have a problem with it. Was there a little too much blank space on the WeatherTech 13 Chevrolet Camaro of Shane Van Gisbergen? Says in between the lanes. Might have been for some people. Cousin Carl for NASCAR Presidente. Darrell Waltrip and guys used to fill the frames with lead shot, then twist some contraption to let it out all over the track. Yeah, that was probably the most famous one. If you watch the Dale Jr. episode with Tim Brewer, he explains an even better way of going about it. Will Creed ever win a race? Poor guy, says Thomas Haywood. BB, I'm in Switzerland and told them to grill me a bologna in honor of you. I lathered myself up with yellow mustard and tanned all day. They put scorching hot bologna burger patties on me in honor of you. So cool. Indeed, my friend. Hope you enjoy Switzerland, my friend. The Black Dentist wants the Discord link. Let's see. Will SVG win a race next year? I think he'll be in a slightly better cars, but we'll see. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting to see how he performs relative to his 2 teammates. I think he'll be pretty good. People would melt down if it was all HMS Final Four. Yes, I would. Says like dislike HMS sucks. Says like dislike. Yeah, I understood how they do it. But if you're disqualified, what's the point? Says James Burns. SVG is still the best road racer in NASCAR, but I feel the competitors in both Xfinity and Cup have learned, and a lot have caught up with him. Says Escobar. Yeah, I mean, you're only going to be that good for so long. And then, especially with the SMT data, they're going to see what you're doing and they're immediately going to sort of try to catch up. I don't know why teams haven't done the solid water bottle yet. Oh, they've been caught. There have been teams that have been caught with the lid water bottle for sure. Just take it out at the first pit stop. That's one that's been caught for sure. Black Dennis says, I love your smile. Appreciate you there, Black Dennis. SVG's Cup starts on road courses this year. We're prepped by Trackhouse, so it will relatively be the same equipment. Says Thunder Strikes. Indeed, yeah. So Trackhouse has a pretty tight alliance right now with Colleague, but that will of course end next season. So we'll have to see what happens. Did you check out any of the Bathurst highlights? I sure didn't. The only highlights I saw yesterday, and even going into today, because I woke up kind of late due to staying up last night, was the final restart controversy there with Parker Kligerman. That's kind of the only thing that I saw so far. So let's see. There is the wise guy dropping the merch link. Did you check out? I just read that one. Why is Ty Dillon full time in Cup again? Because he can afford to. So there you go. That as well. All right. Looks like we've reached the end of the chat here. So final poll question results: 37% going with Ryan Blaney, 23% for Hamlin and Elliott, and 17% going with Alex Bowman. All right. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.